Welcome to Too Many Thoughts and Too Many Problems podcast. We have Mike, the Saint Mike, our new co-host pretty much.
I'm here again.
Yeah.
Every week.
And a very new guest today, Trisha.
Yeah.
And of course your host, Will. So this is our first time meeting Trisha. And I want you to just kind of give us a little bit of information about yourself. You're like a digital creator here, or a musical creator here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So give us a background.
So my name is Trisha. I am a professional dancer, rapper, singer, songwriter, and part-time model. And I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I've been dancing since I was like 3 years old. I went pro in my teens, and that's basically like what I've been doing like before I came to Korea.
Pro in 19, like what is that?
In my teens. Like, I was like already like dominating competitions, getting paid gigs and things like that.
So, that's so cool.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Were you like a solo, like
normally just
normally
just solo performances, like backup performances, and also like with teams as well.
Yeah. Well, what is your like, I guess most famous backup performance that you've like were in the States?
Most famous backup performance would probably be, I don't know.
I mean, it's been a long time for me since I've been in the States, and so you're like in the teens.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I did like a lot of backup, like on stage dancing for like a lot of bachata artists and merengue artists and like salseros and things like that.
That's cool.
I think my most famous one that I think most people would know would probably be like Elvis Crespo. You know, Suavemente.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know the song. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
don't know the artist, but then once you start singing the song, I'm like, okay, I know. Yeah. Oh, that's sick.
That's crazy that like we all know that song, but just nobody knew.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I never knew that he made that song either. I knew his name from like other songs, but I never knew that he actually sang that song until like I was like maybe like 9.
Yeah.
When I started to like actually search music.
That's cool. So and then you came to Korea. To be a content creator or like?
I was supposed to be a part of like a dance group, like an international dance group, but like that fell through with like this really terrible company.
Like shady company.
But like, I can't talk too bad about them because like I had the opportunity to travel like different countries and stuff like that, but yeah, they were pretty shady. They left me dead on the side of the road.
No.
Yeah.
Like where at, like in Korea?
Yeah.
Like shoot. Yikes.
Yeah, it was pretty shifty.
How'd you pick yourself back up from there?
My manager picked me up.
Oh,
yeah. Lifted me up, got me a job, like teaching dance classes and like still working as a dancer and like choreographing. And I kind of like started to like ghostwrite for like Korean artists and things like that. So yeah, had my little hustle going on for a while.
Nice. And then now you're like performing a lot now in Korea.
Yeah. Like dance showcases and like judging competitions and then also like performing my own music at like clubs and stuff. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, thanks for the introduction. We're gonna move on to Mike, Saint Mike.
I don't got anything that cool. I feel like my intro is not going to be
that's great. You're a great performer.
I'm a model, dancer, and rapper, singer.
You are.
Hyphen it. I kind of am, but it's like not really.
Have you seen your Instagram, those model pics? They're stunning.
Just me on my phone in Japan. I gotta start like a Pinterest board of just a bunch of photos of me on my phone. Yeah. Every single photo is just me on my phone.
Yeah.
So I'm Michael. You guys know I'm in every video. Same Mike.
Yep.
How would I describe myself? I rap now, but I was singing before, and I still do sometimes. So I'm a singer, rapper, producer, mixing and mastering engineer, and performer now for the last year.
Yours is just as good, man. You got all this like listed on. Like, come on. Come on. I gotta hype you up.
We trying to get there, and then like a couple other things. Like I got to deal with all like whatever content I put out. So if I have to make a video for a song, like I gotta do the editing and stuff. But I wouldn't really call myself that. It's just part of the job. Yeah. So do I get into like what I did
as
far as
what did you do before and then what are you doing now?
Well, I'm sure as you guys all know, I'm a teacher now. Not anything music related, but I do perform a lot in Seoul, and I perform a lot with her, Trisha. Yeah. So pretty much every show I'm at, she's at. I don't think that there's been one that you haven't been at that I've been at.
But there's been plenty that I was at that he wasn't at.
She performs more often than I do. I don't like performing usually more than once or twice a week.
Oh, okay.
Just for my own sanity.
Or a month.
Are you guys like within? Is there like a group? Is that why you guys perform together so often, or is it just by chance?
Yeah, so we are part of a group, Artists Anonymous. It's a big group, though. There's like a lot of people, so sometimes, the roster for a show will vary. Like sometimes we'll have, 8 people. Sometimes we'll have 3. Sometimes we'll have 5. And it's usually different kinds of people. But most of the time, well, Trisha's always there, and then I'll be there often.
It's because I'm supportive.
There you go. I'm not
of artists anonymous.
Yeah, because I didn't start as a performer. Like I like
it's like your hobby
in the house in the studio thing. Like I like not a studio, but my house.
The man behind
studio.
the scenes, basically.
Yeah, I like to make music. I'm not so much as like I love to be on stage. That's not really was never really my calling. I like doing it now. It's fun to go out and jump around and get to perform music live. But that was never really something that I even really considered. Yeah, I never really considered doing that when I started years ago. I thought I was just gonna make beats and just get them to people. But over time things change and evolve, and I started doing my own vocals and stuff, and then now it's the performances, and then who knows what's next? Could be something else.
Yeah. Now you guys perform. Well, you said how often do you perform here, and then how often do you perform per week in Seoul?
It really depends on it kind of depends on the season.
Oh, okay.
Like right now, I don't. Actually, I guess this month we have a lot more performances. It seems that are booked. But for example, last month there wasn't a whole lot that was going on. But on a busy month, I typically would perform usually just once a week. Okay. Depending on where the venues are. Some venues I like more, so I might do twice, but usually just once. And then Trisha.
Yeah, I perform with Artists Anonymous probably once a week, but by myself maybe also once a week because I do dance competitions too.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not so much that we perform a lot during the week because most of the time when people are out and actually willing to look at shows, there's only a small window of time during a week. You get a Friday and a Saturday mostly. Right. I don't know too many places that have anything on Sunday. So, yeah, normally just get those 2 days. So you might be able to perform one of those days. Sometimes you might be able to perform Friday and Saturday, depending. But have we ever done a Thursday?
We used to do Dokkaebi on Thursdays, but that died.
Dokkaebi in Hongdae?
Yeah, the party house, not the club though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's 2 out there. We never did the club, but we did do the party house.
Y'all never did the club.
You did?
Y'all never did the club.
I didn't know. That was probably before me, or maybe it was.
That was before COVID that I did that.
Yeah, that was before I started performing. Oh. But yeah, we used to do Dokkaebi party house on Thursdays. I forgot that was on Thursday, but yeah.
I don't know how you forgot. That was literally
that was the first place I performed. That was the first place that I performed my own music, so I probably should have remembered. But since all the shows recently have been on Friday, I'm just kind of used to the Friday schedule of just this is when performances are. They're on Fridays all the time.
Yeah. So what's your guys' motivating factor to be a performer? You say you weren't performing initially.
Yeah.
So what's your motivating factor now? And what started you to really get into it?
When I was younger?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just liked being the center of attention. I used to perform for my mom's friends when they would come over and stuff. I remember they used to make me always rap Left Eye's parts in TLC songs. And just imagine a 5-year-old me and my 2 sisters who are significantly older than me, and they've got the easy part of waterfalls, and then I have to come in I seen the rainbows yesterday with too many songs, and I didn't even know what I was rapping to, but it just stuck with me, and I've always loved performing, and I loved being watched.
I think you have to have that a little bit.
Definitely.
There, yeah. Do your sisters still make music? Do they still perform?
No, my sisters were dancers. They weren't like music makers.
Oh, you ended up being the music maker in the family.
No, one's a celebrity stylist and the other one's a scientist.
Oh.
And then there's me.
Two. Those are two very different life paths, but both.
And my brother's
both
a psychologist, so where the hell did I come from?
Well, I mean, everybody's successful, just doing different things.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So what got me? So is the question what got me into making music or what got me into performing? Because
let's do like music and then got into performing. So because it's like a transition, right?
Yeah, sure. So I initially started making music in high school. Kind of just high school people get like it was Fruity Loops back then, so people would get like Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
And they would be like,
"What the hell is Fruity Loops?"
FL Studio.
Is that a Canadian thing?
FL Studio.
Definitely a Canadian thing.
It's FL Studio. You don't know what FL Studio?
I don't know what FL Studio is.
Okay, well, for those of you that don't know what FL Studio is, FL Studio is they call it a DAW, digital audio workstation. It's pretty much where people produce their music.
ADA?
No, like you know how there's Ableton, there's Pro Tools.
Okay, no Pro Tools.
Yeah, okay, so things like that.
Yeah.
It's essentially like a more entry level version of that. Pro Tools is like they have them in big studios and stuff, but people produce their music.
Fruity Loops.
For example, like Metro Boomin, he uses FL, right? So I started with that because that's what a lot of people like. People were just torrenting stuff back then.
Yeah,
it's like, I got like a cracked version of like it was Fruity Loops.
LimeWire.
Yeah, LimeWire.
Yeah, I just had LimeWire.
So I got that, and I was just messing around with that as a teenager. I was awful. I never connected with FL. To this day, I still don't know how to use it. It just didn't connect with me. So for a long time, I just struggled with it. Then I stopped because I was like, this clearly isn't working. I'm not good at this. But I grew up working on music, like playing piano and stuff. So I think I always had something musical in me. Yeah, but I just didn't know how to take it from playing piano and to making a full song. So I struggled with that a lot, but I still had friends that did it. So for years and years, it kind of just sat by the wayside. And then I actually remember I was 20, I think I was like 21 or 22, something like that. But yeah, it was like 10 years ago. I remember my friend George, shout out George. You guys know Seoul? It's they're like a vibe group. They're like DJs and producers and stuff, but they like just make vibey music.
Are they recent?
They've been around for a while. They're like a big group. There's big members in it. So like some of the members you might notice them, but I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Like Wu-Tang?
Kind of like that, but like not with rappers and stuff. More like DJs and you know. Yeah. Cool. So my boy, it was the middle of the night. I'm like in bed. He's like, yo, get up. Like, we're going to a Selection show. I was like, bro, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, how are we even going to get into this show? He's like, nah, don't worry about it. So we drive downtown, like downtown Toronto, and we go to this show. And I'm listening to the way that they're making music. And to me, to my untrained ear at the time, I was like, this is easy. I could do this. Because I'm listening to it, and it just sounded like they took a popular song, and they just put drums under it. And I'm like, I can do that. Like now, obviously, I know that's not what they were doing. It was much more complicated and much more difficult then. Yeah. But all it took was that, like thinking that in order to get me back into working on music. I was like, so I'm going to do that. So the first song that I ended up making when I came back to making music, I just took, I think it was like something ridiculous. Like, no, it was Spandau Ballet, like, I know this. So I took that one. I just put drums underneath it. I'm like, yeah, see, I can make a song.
Isn't that the Lloyd song?
No, who
he got that part
from?
The
original is from them. And so I did that, and I think it just took that little win to really get me back. Like, okay, I can actually do this, because I struggled for so long. I couldn't make anything. Yeah. So I think it was just that small win, and then from there, I was like, I'm gonna start trying to take this seriously and really learn how to do this. Yeah. So from there it just kept building up, and you just learn more and more and more. And the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know anything. So that's what got me going with music.
Facts. Oh yeah.
Oh, with me, how I got started like with making music? Yeah. I think I was in like the 4th grade when I like won this poetry contest.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
And it was oh my God, the poem was so cringe. Like it was super.
Was it like a love letter poem?
No, it was like.
Was it like slam?
No, it was just like me talking about like wanting to, because I used to want to be a meteorologist.
Okay.
And I was so torn between like being a meteorologist, being an actress, and like being a singer. And I just like combined all of like the key elements of each profession into this poem, and it was just so freaking cringe.
Do you remember like the first couple of lines?
I do. I remember
the first couple of lines that inspired you to be a musician.
It was extremely embarrassing.
Just one line. The
just
first line. You don't even have to do the rhyming part.
Yeah.
The actual first line.
I refuse.
Okay. It was that cringe? Okay.
It's really, like you didn't understand. It was extremely cringe. Like, I don't know how my mom read that and was like, "Oh, you did so good." I'm like, bitch, you lying. Like,
but you said you were in the 4th grade, right? So she's probably just like, I'm trying to support my daughter. You know, like I don't think it was like,
that's one
this
thing.
Sucks. This is a terrible poem.
My mom is super supportive, but yeah, I like have been writing poems since like for a long time, but I never thought that they would go anywhere. Like I remember, I used to sing about being a star and like spinning in the grass in the front lawn. Meanwhile, my house would be like on fire between like both of my parents, and it's just so crazy because like. That literally just kept on pushing me. Like I just had like more things to like include into like wanting to like create music and stuff. Yeah. And then I started writing. I even started like a group with like these 2 boys and this 1 girl, and we were basically representing like Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. Like we were supposed to be like a dynasty type thing, and we were like a hip hop group. But mind you, we were like preteens, and like we weren't like as wild as what like the things that I say nowadays or whatever. But like we were really good. And then I kept on going. I even like started writing like songs in Spanish. I used to hit up like my Dominican friends and be like, yo, what do you think about this? And then one of them would be like, oh my God, let me use this. And then like they'll rap it over like a dembow beat, and they'll like switch it up, and then they'll do like a típico type merengue type beat, and like I just kept on writing and writing. They're like, oh, what do you have for me? And like I just kept on writing for other people, and it took me a while to actually focus on like what I wanted to write for me, like what my message would be, you know, like. I guess you can say like I'm really spiritual, and I'm pretty religious, so like. I don't want to send like the wrong idea to people. I don't want them to think that like, you know, like, oh, I'm a hypocrite or something like that, because I know that like my Lord and Savior knows my heart and stuff. But like I always feared like the things that I rap about, the things that I like to hear about, like, you know, that doesn't make me less of a Christian or anything like that, because I still, you know, I still keep my, you know, my faith and my morals and things like that. But I always was like really reluctant, and it took a while for me to actually find what I wanted to put out there and be my message. It was so easy just doing it for everybody else, because it's like I know what they want and how they want to be perceived. But like me personally, it was a little difficult.
Yeah. I think it's always hard though to try to identify yourself correctly, or like portray yourself as what you would want to be seen as.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's kind of a balance of being yourself, and also like if you're making music for an audience, it's almost like potentially, hopefully it's still working, yeah. It's almost like potentially giving them a little bit of what they want, but also still being you. Right. You know? And I think that's, some people lean too much one way or the other. Right. Like some people are super, this is for me, like I don't care about anybody else, but I want other people to like it. Yeah. And then other people are like, this is just for other people. Like, there's really none of me in it. I just want to do whatever's popular so that other people will like it.
And those people are sellouts, in my opinion.
I don't know.
I mean, they get consumed. Like, some of them get consumed.
I consider them sellouts.
I think you need both. I think you need artists that are going to be, like, really true to themselves. But, like, most of the music that we just listen to if we go out to a club or whatever, like, those artists, it's just manufactured stuff. Like, sometimes people just need the bubblegummy stuff, you know? Like, stuff that's not so... This is from my heart. Sometimes you just need something that just slaps in a car, man.
Something really generic like K-pop?
Well, we can go there, but
are you afraid to, Michael?
It sells, though.
I mean, I don't listen to enough K-pop to have an opinion on it, really.
I mean, I hear it enough because I actually go outside.
Yeah, I don't. I don't, like, I used to listen, the funny thing is I used to listen to K-pop and, like, K-hip-hop and stuff like that when I was in when I was in like high school,
right,
and like late middle school, and everybody's like, "That's weird. Like, why would you do that?" And it was weird, I guess, thinking back on it, because how did I even find this LimeWire? But then now that I live here, it's funny because I grew up listening to that stuff, and I don't really listen to it now.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, like kids will come up to me and be like, "Teacher, you know this song?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, I don't. I might have heard it if I was in like Mega Coffee or something, but I don't know what this song is. I don't know this music." And I don't really go to the festivals. We went to one last year, but outside of that,
which one did you guys go to?
Waterbomb.
Yeah. Where? Seoul?
Daegu.
Why would you go all the way to Daegu?
Because we had friends there.
Yeah, and I think we missed the ticket sales on.
We definitely missed the ticket sales to Seoul, and then we had friends in Daegu too.
Yeah, it just
which makes sense why it was so easy to get tickets in Daegu, because it's Daegu.
No, but it was fun, and they had like a huge area for it, and it was a good time.
Yeah, the stadium for Daegu is not terrible.
Yeah, it was actually it was a good event. Yeah, it was nice, and they had like good artists come on there too.
Like the place that I don't like the most so far is, what is it, like, it's at an amusement park, Seoulland.
Seoulland.
I don't like Seoulland.
Why?
Because it's like so far. You got to walk all the way to the venue. Yeah.
Where is it? Like what is the closest?
Somewhere in Seoul.
It's like super south, like even more south
than Everland.
Yeah, you know, like Sarang Station, you go down south, like
so it's like leaving, like Gwacheon.
Yeah. You gotta kind of leave the Seoul area and go into the Gyeonggi-do area.
I'm curious.
Yeah,
I've never been to Seoulland.
Yeah,
it's weird that it's called Seoulland, but it's like outside of Seoul.
Yeah, and then like you have to go. You can walk to the venue, but like it's easier for you to just take the train or like the buses that they have there.
Oh yeah, it's like in Gwacheon.
Yeah. And then you got to go all the way. And then you got to still walk through their amusement park to actually get to the venue. Yeah. And the venue is actually on like a slight hill too. So you
have to walk
up. Do you really have to like cross a lake to get there?
Like you walk around the lake.
Oh, please.
Yeah. And so going there, that venue is like horrible.
Like, but just because of the distance, or is
the venue is also kind of mid because you're on concrete.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you have to wear shoes.
Whereas so there's no grass.
Yeah, there's like no turf or whatever that they usually use. Nice. Yeah. So it's kind of like
we wore shoes anyway, but it was nice.
Yeah, but
you were gonna take your shoes off.
But imagine like someone falling, like or doing like.
Yeah,
you know,
or
raving like, a little too hard, and then
people jumping around. Somebody gets knocked over, and you just end up on concrete.
Yeah.
Oh please.
Man, it's dangerous.
Next topic.
Yeah. So speaking of venues, what are the venues that you guys usually perform at?
Usually?
Yeah. Are they at like high class bars?
High class
restaurants?
Crazy.
No.
High class.
Just out there rapping.
None of the ones that I'm at.
You think I'm gonna be bent over shaking my ass in a high class restaurant?
I don't never know.
I don't do that.
I mean, I won't be performing. I'll probably be like on a date or something.
Some people like that at like a 5-star Michelin guide.
We do clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly clubs. I'm trying to think of if we've done any, or if I've done. I know Trisha's done more venues than I have. So we did a place called The Studio, which isn't really. It's kind of like a live music.
It's someone's
place.
Basement.
Oh,
but with a stage and like a little bar area.
It's someone's basement with a stage and a bar.
It's a studio.
But then we've also done clubs. Like we did clubs in we did a club at Apgujeong.
Yeah.
D-Quarter.
Shout out D-Quarter. Somebody I love you.
We did Dokebi, which is a bar and like just a party area.
Okay. Is it not good?
It's okay.
Yeah.
I used to like performing at Dokebi, but it was.
I don't like the sound system. That's my issue with it, more so than anything.
It's just Dokebi is one of those places that like people go there to get drunk and like get really tossed because the alcohol is cheap, the music is
like good
your
enough.
Generic type of
it's serviceable.
Top 100, but like people are so sloppy and so dirty, and I'm such a germaphobe like when it comes to like me being in a place where I'm supposed to be performing, because like I'm an actual performer. Like I sing, dance, I interact with the crowd, I'm up here, I'm down here, I'm everywhere, and it's just not comfortable when I'm messing up my shoes in somebody's, Long Island iced tea or urine or puke or God knows what, and then I
don't know if it's been that bad. You talking about urine and puke?
I just want you guys to keep in mind that I've performed more times than Mike at Dokebi, so yeah.
I mean, it's never been that bad when I've been there. People do spill drinks, but I feel like people spill drinks everywhere.
There's literally a video of a girl getting railed in the girls' bathroom at KP.
For reals?
Yes.
While you were performing? Or just like another random time?
Like a random viral video?
There was one time where when we were performing, but the video, it took place the day after we performed.
Oh, okay. So it was like within the last year then. I was
This happened like a couple months ago. And it's a regular thing.
People probably get railed at clubs here all the time.
But the thing is that I don't understand how they do that. Like, are they not afraid of the, like,
I don't think
infections?
Care. I think people are drunk enough, and especially in Hongdae, just young enough.
I've never been drunk enough to rail somebody in a bathroom.
Really
yeah.
That's why I only date guys with cars.
Well, there you go.
I'm kidding.
No, but what was I gonna say again? Yeah, for me, it's mostly the sound system. Yeah. I'm not as strict with the rest of the stuff.
Like the environment.
I just want it. Yeah, I just want the sound to be good.
Yeah.
So that's why some places, like, I'm trying to think of a place that had, like, even the studio itself has a decent sound system, but it's just like they have corded mics, so you can't really move around and stuff like that.
For Dokebi or?
No, the studio.
For the studio.
Oh, the studio. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, something I didn't really realize when I started performing is like, sometimes you'll see people perform recorded mics when you like watch performances.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, this is just like a normal thing, it's fine. But when you really want to move around and like get in the crowd, and it's restricting to have the mic, and then you got to step over it. Sometimes you can trip over it. Like, we've done a couple shows where it's like that. But the sound was good. D Quarter has a great sound system. That one was really good.
Jessica didn't like it.
She didn't, but I feel like it wasn't because of the sound.
I feel like it was great. It was a perfect sound system for me.
Why didn't she like it?
I don't know. But I personally loved performing at D Quarter. And I loved being behind the DJ booth and performing.
Yes.
Man, they had me DJing there. I cannot DJ. I'm not a good DJ. I was just there to play songs while we were waiting. I'm not a good DJ, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You have great choice in music.
I'm a vibe builder.
He's an aux chord guy.
You know, I'm a vibe builder. I got tracks. I just don't know. I don't have the technical proficiency to mix them together. But I can make a killer playlist. Like, I was playing the music at my birthday.
Yeah.
At my birthday, and that was fun.
Yeah, that was.
And we're considering doing another party. You know?
Are we?
We are. We were talking about it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
We were?
I was like,
I'm kidding. I wasn't that drunk. I remember.
We were.
I'm kidding.
I'm not crazy.
So at these venues, so they're mostly like clubs and like bars and
clubs and bars mostly.
So how do you guys get into these? Or do you have like difficulties getting into certain clubs or like?
I mean, you know, there are some people who like these days they care about how many people you have following you and things like that.
So when you hit them up, you guys show them your like follower count first, or
hell no? I mean, they're gonna see that first, but like it depends. Sometimes they don't even respond if you don't have like the amount of followers that they want to see. It's really about the vision of clout that is portrayed on your Instagram page. You know, like somebody could have like 133,000 followers on Instagram, but they'll only get like maybe 100 and some likes on their page, and it's like,
It's really about the conversion. Yeah, it's not just about
people
how many
literally.
people follow
It's
you.
not even funny though. People literally buy followers just so they have like this image of like them being some grand cookie, and
which is like, I feel like it's such an easy thing to see through if you just take a second. Because there's people that have a ton of followers, like you said, but they don't get any likes on their stuff. There's no engagement.
It's
like if you have 50,000 followers, but you get 100 likes on something, then something is clearly off, right? But that's neither here nor there.
It's everywhere, because when we contact these venues, that's the stuff that they want to see. Rather than them seeing our actual performances and like how we maneuver and how we perform, they would rather look at the follower count, because they want you to bring people in to like, you know, patronize their business, which is understandable.
That's the thing. I can't really hate on somebody for wanting to make money off.
But I've seen people who have like 100 times as many followers as me, and they literally perform for like 16 people.
Oh,
yeah.
And I think that's kind of the tough thing now too. It's like, I mean, I've been very lucky. I have you guys. Like, I have friends that actually come to my shows and stuff, and you have friends that come to your shows. But
no, I don't. I have no friends.
She has friends that come to the show.
I'm kidding.
But it's like, I think the reason why a lot of these places are skeptical about booking people in general, not just us, is because like being able to draw a crowd isn't always, it's kind of transient. It's like, it's not really something that you can always do unless you're like a major act, you know? Right. So like, I may be able to bring like, I don't know, 10 maybe 15 max if I'm doing really well to a show, like people by myself. And then there's obviously people that are already going to be in the bar and, you know, people that other performers bring. But I can't consistently do that.
And stragglers.
Yeah, but I can't consistently do that. Like you guys have lives, you're my friends and stuff. Like you guys have stuff to do. I can't just rely on you to just follow me around and go from show to show.
Yeah,
that's why it's like we promote it, but the stuff that they're looking for when they look at the followers and stuff is like, well, how many people are they gonna bring? But it's not always black and white like that. Like most of the time, it's gray. Like you can't just rely on somebody with a bunch of followers to just. Like, none of us are big enough acts that with the people that we perform with, even the people we don't know, none of us are big enough acts to have, like, fans that just follow them from place to place. Like, every show that they do, there's, like, 20, 30, 40 people. Like, no, we don't perform.
All my fans live
like
far away. They've been asking me to go back to New York for the longest.
So even if, like, let's say this dude has a huge amount of followers, whatever, but his music is complete ass... The venue will still accept them?
Of course.
Yeah, because it's not really about the music. It's about the
money that they're going to make.
Yeah, it's about it's about the money, and it's just about the image. Like, if you have somebody that's famous, even if their music sucks, like, sucks to who, right?
Yeah.
Like, we might not like it, but if they have all of these people following them, then clearly somebody's listening to it, or you would hope so, right? So their hope is that that's just them being that famous, regardless of what they make, that they're going to be able to bring people to the bar. At the end of the day, it's just, there's a bottom line. Yeah. It's money, right? Like, if they can make money off of it, then that's what they're going to do. And, like, I can't hate on them for it, but it does make it more difficult for us sometimes. I can't say much. I don't really book the shows. I'm kind of just, I just go to them.
So who books the shows then? Oh.
The leader of the crew. I mean, she normally books the shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's not like one of our friends, like a couple of the venues that we've performed at were like the owners were friends of mine or Mike's, and like the ones where like somebody has to reach out and communicate in Korean, the leader of the crew.
Okay. So they'll drop a DM to a certain club or venue, and then they'll also send your guys' profiles to them, or how does that work?
I honestly, I feel like I should have asked her how this works, because I don't really know.
There's a draft of the message that gets sent to the place, and then if they respond and ask for that material, I'm assuming that she sends it like that. But it's normally just like
there's like a canned message,
very cut and dry.
A canned message that seems to work with the places that we go to, and then she sends that to them, and then she probably just shows the roster, like maybe. Or tells them how many people she wants to have, or they tell her how many people that they want, or how much time, like what the time slot is, and then she'd be able to like fill it up based on that. I don't really know specifically. I should get more involved in that. I'm really thinking about getting more involved in just booking stuff in general, because I feel like that's a good skill to have that I haven't really been, doing. But
the Korean is an issue.
Oh, for sure.
It can be, yeah, for sure.
Like.
Because you got to communicate with them, right? Yeah. Even beyond the initial message, like you have to be able to talk to them. Yeah. And if you can't communicate in Korean very good, then very well, sorry.
Can't even speak English. Yeah. God, he can't English, and we expect him to talk Korean.
I'm teaching my broken English to children.
Most Americans don't even care.
But if you can't communicate with them, it makes it tough.
Yeah, right. So then what's like one of you guys' biggest, I guess, events here in Seoul that you guys performed at?
Oh my God. Biggest or like...
Or famous or...
The biggest event?
Or most rowdy or...
I mean, we can go with Trisha first. You perform more than I do.
No, go ahead.
In the clubs?
I don't really know if I've had any like really, really big ones. Honestly, the biggest one to me, not even based on like any sort of prestige, but just based on the amount of people we had, felt like my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Because... There was everybody that was already at the party, which was a bunch of people. Plus, there was like a whole bunch of Mongolian people in there.
Shout out to Mongolia.
Yeah, man. We love Mongolians, man. Shout out Mongolians.
Oh, yeah, that was at, where was it?
That was at Candy Shop.
Candy Shop, right.
But we were on the couch that night.
Yeah. So.
Oh, you weren't performing?
What do you mean?
No, she did.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah. You don't remember?
We all did.
I do.
I went
But I don't remember if you performed that night.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Were you as drunk as Mike?
No, I was only paying attention to Mike. Sorry.
That's okay, because you're my friend.
My bad.
It's okay. More people pay attention to me anyway. Mike can have you.
Yeah, so that felt like the biggest one to me. But as far as Usually the ones that what's that spot in Hapjeong with that's in the basement?
Oh, Gyoji Pop.
Yeah, that place has the most performers usually. So it'll be us, but then there'll be a bunch of other people. So it'll be like
from different crews.
10 other people. Yeah. It's like a whole night of just performances. But they have the bar and everything too, but it's just like a night of performance.
How's that? Like, it's okay?
The first one was fun.
Okay. And
the first one I had fun. After that, it was just like...
You guys
actually, I only
beef?
performed there once.
Twice.
I performed with you that one time, but I wasn't performing my own music. And then there was the first time I performed. Maybe I did perform twice. I don't remember. But the first time was the best one to me.
Okay.
And after that, it's tough because when there's too many performers, man. Yeah. It's like you're there and you're just sitting through like 10 people, and it's mostly just...
And they all sound
the same, rough, like...
Let me not.
And it's like most of the people in the crowd is just the other performers, right? So you're just performing to a bunch of other musicians.
Okay.
Which is fine, I guess, but like people aren't there to listen to you. People are there to perform their own music, hoping to be heard by somebody.
Yeah.
So that's the tough thing.
I guess it's a good spot to like practice your performance.
I mean, yeah, every show is gonna be practice.
Yeah.
For me anyway. Yeah. Like I'm still relatively new.
He's not me.
I'm still
not a professional.
New.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not even. I think I just have like my style and like what suits me, and it's basically everything that I've been doing since like forever ago. So like I have my thing. Like that's my way of performing, my style. Some people who perform with us don't necessarily have that, and it's good for them to like perform at places so that they get that practice in.
Yeah.
It's really important for artists to like know what their style is and how they're going to use that to engage with the audience, because if you're just there holding your crotch, rocking back and forth, standing in one place, the audience is going to be like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Do you need to see somebody?
Unless you're like Sam Smith and you're just, blowing away with vocals.
Yeah, or like
even Sam Smith is a good performer.
Sam Smith be dancing and going crazy now.
I mean, like now, like
Adele does stand there and like belt.
No, Adele is entertaining. I don't care what anybody says.
I actually haven't watched any of Adele's stuff.
she's no Celine Dion, but Adele is very entertaining. Even though she's there, like giving her vocals and everything like that, she still moves around. She makes the crowd laugh.
Yeah, I mean, she's entertaining in a different way. When I say Adele is on stage singing, she's not. It's not Renaissance tour. Like it's. She's there to sing, right?
Yeah.
And people are there to hear her sing.
Her voice.
But even Celine Dion, like before she got sick, Celine Dion used to be over there, with her little statuesque poses and.
She's a Canadian. That's why it's the Québécois. That's why it's the French.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
No, but what was I saying? I feel like I just lost what I was trying to say.
About how you're not a good performer like me.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think we just perform different. But I'm not as.
That's what you want to call it.
I'm not as experienced, but I will say
you just
that
started like this year.
A
little bit.
Just a little bit over a year now, like a year and a month. We just perform. We make different music and we perform differently. I don't do as much of the dancing and stuff like that.
Nobody does. I'm the only one in the crew who actually dances.
But
full on dances.
I like to get out in the crowd and interact and jump around and get everybody hype and have fun with it. And
take his shirt off.
I haven't fully taken my shirt off.
Yes, you have.
No, I've never been shirtless on stage.
Well, the arms count.
Oh yeah, I've never been shirtless.
Just like rolling up the sleeves?
No, I'll wear like a jersey or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Or
then he'll be like, make some fucking noise. like, oh my God, he's such a whore.
I mean, it's exciting. It's different than hearing the songs like on your phone or in your headphones. It's like I try to make the live experience different, more compelling.
Right.
More interesting than just having me go up there and just rap the tracks or sing the songs.
So performing in like Korea per se, have you guys had any like issues in terms of like cultural issues or xenophobia or? Because I'm sure that's like, as you were saying, you like get on the floor, shake your ass. Yeah. It's not really something that you're particularly used to here. Mm-hmm. They are getting more familiar with it, but I
mean, I haven't experienced like for example, you know, shaking my ass, twerking and things like that. I haven't gotten like that type of, you know, like quote unquote shade or like disrespect from Koreans. Normally it's just like foreigners that are like just jealous.
I feel like the Korean people like when like they're more engaged when you do that kind of stuff. It seems like they come up to you more and like they enjoy it, which is weird. You wouldn't think it would be like that. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, definitely the foreigners. I've had like my friends tell me like, oh, this person said this, like,
oh, for us,
yeah, just because like, oh, I'm twerking. Like, if you have a problem with me twerking, then don't look.
Yeah,
walk away.
What is like something that they said?
Oh my God, we were actually talking about this on my birthday. This one girl who I thought was like supposed to be my friend, but like she just had an issue with the fact that I was twerking. She was calling me like ghetto and ratchet and trashy.
Okay.
And I'm like, I mean, I can be all that, but I'll still beat the shit out of you. So like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, honestly, like, if it's really that much of a problem, don't come to my shows. You know I'm gonna be here. You know what I do. You know how I give it up. Especially like, if somebody's dancing like this and you have a problem with it, then like it costs $0 to just mind your business,
right? Exactly.
Or just like walk away,
exactly.
You know, so it's like her talking about me behind my back and things like that. It's like, girl,
it's not that serious.
It never has it ever been that serious.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah,
bitches eat pressed like paninis.
I'm not controversial, so
it's the Canadian. Blood.
There's no controversy with me. Like I go up, I do my tracks, I have a little bit of fun, I sip my drink, and then I go home.
Facts, fam.
Have you any problems as a non-performer then with clubs and?
Maybe like once or twice. Like I've been witness to other people having issues with it, like trying to get into a club and like, oh no, like. I remember one time I was with a Moroccan friend, right?
Okay.
And we were going into a club.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, like we don't let any Moroccan people in.
What?
I'm like, that's such a specific thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what is it about this country where you're like, we don't want Moroccan
What
people?
Moroccan cheated on you?
So that was weird.
Who hurt you?
And I've heard about other people that kind of stuff has happened to. I got denied one time. Okay, so you know how they're getting rid of the Korean age thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in Hongdae. Hongdae is known to be a very youthful-centric place. Yeah, where everybody is in college or like early to mid-20s, and I'm 31 now. But at the time, so I was 29, right? And so I showed them my ID card, and they're like, oh, like, no, we don't want anybody over 30. And I was like, but I'm not over 30.
Yeah.
I'm 29. And they're like, oh, no, like Korean age. I'm like, but I'm not Korean.
Yeah.
So if I'm not Korean, how are you going to tell me what my age is in Korean age when I'm giving you my ID card that says that I'm not 30? And I was like, you know what? I don't want to come here, not even because you're denying me, but you only want people that are going to be generally newer to drinking, very young people that are probably in college still, whatever. It's like, do I really want to be around this energy right now as a 29-year-old man? Yeah. And the answer was, nah. Especially considering I could just go anywhere else. Hongdae's full of places that you can go. So I was just like, man, I'm not even tripping over this. And the line wasn't long, so I didn't have to wait super long. So it wasn't any big deal. But outside of that, nope. I'm pretty uncontroversial when it comes to that kind of thing.
There's this one place in Itaewon.
Just straight up.
Well, I can't name names. I can't name names.
No, go for it. No, you can name it. I was just saying, like, you're right. Like, right when he was done, it's like, boom. You already got it.
She's ready to go.
Were you done?
No, he's done. He's done. Like,
okay, good. Anyway,
I've
never been pussy. So there's this place in Itaewon called Owl Lounge. They like notoriously do not allow foreigners.
I've never.
And I get so aggy like when I'm like on my Instagram and I'm looking through people's stories and then I see an advertisement for Owl Lounge and I'm like, didn't I block them? Like, why are they popping up? Like, I've never went there.
Yeah.
But like I've seen videos of them like literally like throwing foreigners out, like physically like throwing, like
Oh my God, we gotta get some of that.
What is the need for that? Like, why? Yeah. Why does it have to?
But I don't understand why it's like that. It bothers me a lot because not only I'm gonna get a little Hotepisha a little bit.
Oh yeah, let's get into the Hotep shit.
Yeah, like
put my kufi on.
Koreans, not only Koreans, but a lot of people they like black culture. They like black music. They like black food. They like black styles. But they do not like black people. And it's wrong, because why are you playing my kind of music? Music made from the people who look like me.
Preach.
Who rap like me, dance like me, walk like me, face the same struggles of being a black person like me, but you won't allow these same people into your club. The thing is that a lot of these people are really ignorant. Like these people at these clubs, they're super ignorant, because if one of these celebrities were to walk to their door and be like, oh, here's my ID, and they say, oh, we don't allow foreigners, they could turn and be like, you're literally playing my song, but I'm not allowed to go into your establishment. Don't you think that's a little weird? So instead of playing our music, how about they play the bubblegum K-pop and things like that? No shiggity, no shade, because you know I love some of the girls, and you know, but
not the K-pop music that is essentially based on black music.
Honestly, because the 21s, the Sistars, and all them, they literally produced and written by black people and black producers and other producers of color. So it's like, instead of taking our music and blasting our music and then telling us that we're not allowed into your establishment, play a little A-Pink, no.
And that's the thing that
play a little bit of that.
Yeah, that's
do a little that. You know, you already should know. And then you can talk about how we're not allowed to go in there, because I promise you, ain't nobody gonna be doing the twice and all that other extra stuff in your place.
I just feel like we contribute too much to I mean, if we're speaking specifically about like, we contribute too much to culture in general, but that's like a huge conversation to have. But I feel like K-pop music and Korean music and like Korean establishments, especially the very popular establishments in like Itaewon, Hongdae, Apgujeong, whatever, these places don't exist without black culture. Like, even
basically you're saying Seoul or Korean nightlife doesn't exist without black culture.
It doesn't.
But most nightlife doesn't. Like, not even just like, let's be real.
For real. Like, let's keep it $150. Like, honestly, like, everything that a black person has, let's say black Americans specifically, because I know there are some Africans who don't really like black culture but still mimic black culture, and you even catch them in Itaewon online saying that they're American but they speak French, so that's why they got an accent. But I'm not gonna get on that. But look at this. Everything that black Americans have done, we've been condemned for, but it's been mimicked by other races, other nationalities, and other cultures.
To great effect.
Look, even from the shape of our bodies, the food that we eat, all the way down to gang culture. Even our gang culture is mimicked by the same people who condemned us and literally dogged us out. And I understand, America's very powerful and influential and everything like that. And it had a great influence on, a lot of countries like Japan, Korea, and the Philippines, which were a lot of the racism that they don't even know why they're being racist comes from. But when it comes down to it, like, even our gang cultures are copied by these same people who literally call us everything but a child of God. Like, don't you think that's a little weird? Why is it that you've got so many Koreans that are Crip in LA? Why do you think that there are so many Filipinos that literally mimic gang cultures in Cali and things like that? There are so many Chinese people in Queens and Flushing, Corona, even in Manhattan, that mimic Black American gangs. It's like, why do you guys hate us so much but then mimic everything that we do, even to our negatives? But then we the bad people.
Yeah, I think I agree with a lot of what you're saying. For me, it's like I'm totally fine with somebody liking the culture and wanting to be a part of the culture and respectfully, using the culture respectfully, But my issue is taking blackness but throwing out black people. That's always going to be my issue, right? Because we just contribute too much. Whether it's like for example, the style that girls are wearing in Korea right now, right? They got the short, like the crop tops, whatever, with the baggy jeans. Where did that come from? That came from black people.
Yes, sir.
Right? And it's like, I'm not hating on it. Like, if people want to dress like that, then
cute.
fine. It's cute. Yeah. It's a good look. That's the reason why we did it in the first place.
But we shouldn't be called hoochie mamas and hood rats and everything like that when we got our big door knocker earrings and our crop tops and baggy jeans, but then girls do it on TV and they're over here calling themselves super shy and stuff like that. And they're like, oh my God, they're so cute. So it's cute when they do it, but it's a problem when we do it. Fuck them.
Which is an issue. And going back all the way back to the original point, has there been controversy with getting into clubs and stuff like that? Not necessarily for me specifically, but clearly there has been an issue with foreigners getting into clubs and stuff in Korea.
Especially with black people.
Yeah. Because
or colored people in general.
Because of, xenophobia and like racial discrimination and things like that. They say foreigners, but often it's mostly
colored people.
Yeah. Black people, brown people, stuff like that. Like, not for nothing, white people could probably still get into a lot of these places.
Devil's advocate, I will say, in Itaewon, a lot of them people really need to stop their shit because I'm so tired. When I used to go...
for other foreigners?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that too.
I literally... Like, it's disgusting. I remember I used to go to Gold Bar a lot, before COVID. And I would always have to fight somebody. There would always be somebody grabbing my boobs, grabbing my ass. And it's like, then when you turn around and you press them about it, they think I'm going to be quiet about it. Like, no. Yeah. I'm literally from New York. I'll beat the life out of you. I don't care who you are. I've been fighting dudes since I was little. I have no problem doing so here. And it's like, they get drunk, they sexually assault women and even men sometimes. And it's like, where do you get off? Like, who raised you?
There are some foreigners who treat just anywhere they travel to, as Korea included, as their playground.
It's weird though. Have some type of decorum.
I will say though, because I don't want to be too negative on this, I will say that me personally, I've also been very lucky to be a part of there's a lot of good communities out here. As far as whether you go to, there are places in Itaewon, for example, Lit Lounge, which I always shout out Lit Lounge, shout out Pinnacle.
We love you, Pinnacle.
Yeah, and just various different places like that, whether in HBC, Nooks Up Young and stuff, where you can see all of these different subcultures and stuff exist and are welcoming to people. So I think a lot of times the mainstream might push people to the side, but there's always going to be, other places that you can go, subcultures and stuff that are willing to welcome people in. So I think that is a positive thing about Korea too. And I was in Japan for a very short amount of time, but it seems like Japan also has something like that, where it's there's so many different grassroots subcultures and stuff that are always under the surface. People may see the big places and oh, well, they don't let foreigners in. It's maybe not here, but if you go down the street, they got it popping over there for people of all different skin tones, or sexual orientations, everything. They got it popping over there. So I just think that the longer that you're here and the more people you meet and the more you interact with the space and interact with Seoul as a living, breathing thing, you'll find those kinds of people and you'll find those kinds of subcultures.
Also, I just think as globalization in general, along with the internet and social media, as things continue to spread, people get more used to seeing different color, different skin, different culture, different, just everything. Yeah. Eventually, we would like to hope that it just becomes a little bit more ease of access for everyone, more chill.
The xenophobia kind of falls by the wayside,
right,
hopefully.
Exactly.
It's
the ideal.
It's a tough proposition, but, definitely not impossible. And I feel the longer things go on, because people always remind me, especially my girlfriend, she reminds me Korea wasn't open that long ago.
Right.
In history, Korea has only been
a first world country recently.
Yeah, a global hub for all of these different kinds of people
within the last 50 years.
Yeah. So it's gonna take a while. It's not the same as even Japan, which is 2-hour flight away. Even that's completely different, right? So we're experiencing some stuff. It's definitely not as bad as we're making it seem, but it does exist. For me.
What do you mean?
For me.
How dare you?
For me, it's not as bad.
The fact that it exists is bad enough.
It's not as bad as I'm making it seem for me, but it does exist, and it's something that, for example, I'm only saying this because if people wanted to visit here or wanted to live here, and they're different, they're a foreigner that is visibly a minority, like they might run into a couple things here and there that might make it tough.
Yeah,
but
I feel like what you're saying is a little, kind of misguiding, because I'm not saying like don't visit Korea, they don't like foreigners.
No, I'm not saying
I pointed out one specific place, and I said that certain instances of when things happen. I'm not saying I love being here. I'm happy they're having me here.
We fight all the time. I'm not saying you're.
It's not. Let me tell you something. Because he's over here like it's not as bad as what we're making it seem. For me,
I'm saying that this can be misconstrued by people. I'm not saying you said it.
It can be.
People on the internet.
Anything can be misconstrued.
That's why I'm saying it. So things can be misconstrued as like, oh, well.
But you're saying for me. Like.
Yeah, because you said no. So I said for me. I can only speak for myself. But this is something that could be misconstrued. Somebody listening to us and like, oh man, they're saying like Korea is like a racist place, but like da da da.
Yeah.
I don't
never said that.
Some people hear like people hear
what
you
they want.
say.
People hear what they want.
Like you could say it's just this one place, but then people will hear that as Korea in general.
Yeah,
is
people
like
hear
this.
what they want to hear. People misconstrue stuff on the internet all the time.
Yeah,
Gosh, if you think Korea is bad, wait until you go to England.
I've never been out there.
Go to America, bro.
Yeah, I mean, go to America.
Go to America.
America's like the worst for that kind of thing, which is crazy because it shouldn't be. But
I'm happy that when I'm in America, I stay in my little section of Brooklyn where nobody looks different from me.
I don't have that luxury where I'm from.
I don't have that luxury.
I'm kidding. Even
luxury here.
Even where I'm at in the Dominican Republic, there are people who are like literally lighter than you.
Oh, dang.
So it's like it's all over. But no, of course there's going to be colorism. Of course there's going to be prejudice. Everybody in the world is prejudiced. So that's a fact. But everybody in the world does not have to be racist, and everybody is not racist.
Yes. Ideally, people wouldn't be, and I hope that we can get to a point where at least the majority of people aren't. But I just feel like, especially with the older generation still, housing.
So what are you going to do, Mike? Are you going to kill them?
No, you just gotta wait them
you
out.
just have to wait them out. Like, there's nothing you can really do.
COVID.
Thank you.
Purposely for the old people.
There's
He purposely started COVID.
There's just nothing that you can do because it's not even just the older generation here. Like the older generation anywhere, they have a lot of old, like antiquated values and stuff like that it affects us still because a lot of them are in positions of power. A lot of them are the top of businesses and corporations and they're politicians and all of that stuff. And
leaders,
it matters.
educators.
Yeah, and it matters. So it's like a lot of this stuff. It can only start to change when a generation that is more forward thinking is in position to actually make change.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You act as if these older people don't teach their ignorance and their racism and their bias to their their family members and things like that. So it's going to be continuing on. And then don't forget that there are people who just like one bad thing happens and then all of a sudden they switch sides and then it just
it's always
going on and on.
It's always going to exist. It's something that has existed since the beginning of time.
Somebody has to be good and somebody has to be evil. Until you eliminate good and evil, there's always going to be differences between people.
And there's always going to be somebody that has to be superior, right? Somebody's always going to feel like they're better than somebody else.
I feel like you're trying to sub me right now. So can we move on to the next topic?
This woman is always trying to make it seem like I'm saying something crazy.
He's always trying to come for me.
I am literally never. I am the nicest person ever.
Oh my God, if a mosquito bit me.
Yo, but low key with that, actually, we are out of time. So that was fun, good stuff.
That time passed by really fast.
Yeah, that was good.
It's like what? Yeah.
Yeah.
We got like a little bit over an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So
we didn't talk about you, Will. Before we cut off, tell us about your journey very quickly, about your creator journey.
Like content creator stuff?
Yeah. I feel like we've been just hogging up all the spotlight.
No,
Let's talk
good,
to Will.
man. I enjoyed listening and rebounding off of you guys. It was fun. But okay, quickly, I guess I started YouTube in the States, watching like David So and Fung Bros, stuff like that, like food content stuff and comedy stuff. I was like, wow, that's like really funny. And they were all like Asian creators too. So, and I grew up in like Colorado, so I didn't really have any like Asian figures to really look up to. And so when I did start to have an Asian figure to look up to, it was like the Asian YouTubers, So I was like, oh, this is really cool. They're like really leading a way to be something more than just like the typical stereotypical Asian, oh, you're like a nerd, you're good at math, whatever.
They're multifaceted Asian people.
So that's why I started content creating. I was like, I want to be like them. I want to be cool like them. Yeah.
Have you made it? Are you cool like that?
Nah, I'm not, But, doing that for a while, I did that a little bit in Korea, like trying to get like, a little bit of like fame and stuff. But then I found out for me, along with like communicating with the community online, just wasn't exactly for me. Like, it tired me out really fast, making content for people to be kind of like an influencer like them. People like will always want something for you. They never really, and it's hard for them to give to you because it's like an online sort of transaction. But every time they communicate with you, it's always like, I want this. I want this from you. Give me information about this. And I was like, oh, it's not happening. So I stopped creating content like that for a bit. And then I started getting into like podcasts because that was a lot from me. Like a lot of the podcasts I created was like just how I felt about my life and my perspective of who I am within this moment. And so that fed to me as a person. And then right after the podcast session, I got really into like volleyball and stuff. And it kind of brought back my spirit of creating things. Because I always like creating content. I just didn't want to do it that way. Yeah, I didn't want to be consumed by my consumers. And so with volleyball content, I didn't really have to necessarily even engage. They're like shorts now. Like everything is so fast. I just throw it up. People just consume, and they don't really necessarily ask me for anything. They just see and consume the video, and they scroll, and it is what it is. Do their thing. So that's kind of where I am now, and I'm happy creating more content and then fast content and creating content with the hobby that I like doing, I love doing. So it's all working out for me so far. All right. That's kind of all it is.
That's concise.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate you guys hopping on though. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having
me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You guys want to plug you guys stuff really quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll let Trisha go first.
No, you can go ahead. You have less than me.
I'm going to let Trisha go first. I'm going to do that one more time. Because Trisha is brand new, and they already have heard my plugs multiple times. Trisha.
All right, so then they're going to just ignore it, and then when they hear me come in, then they're going to be entertained.
That's why you should go first, so they can turn off the podcast before I even get on.
Just hurry up, Mike. I'm trying to give you more airtime.
Just do like rock, paper, scissors.
Okay,
Koreans
so
do.
I'll go first because Trisha is actually subbing me. So, at the same Mike, TheStMike. As I've said this multiple times on the podcast, I'm a musician out here. I do shows out here, so if you are out here, hit me up, let me know, come to the shows, and chop it up. Don't be afraid to message me. And I got a new song coming out. Actually, by the time this airs, it'll probably already be out because it's coming out on Friday.
Yes, sir. I'll get it out by then.
Yeah.
So if this airs before, then check it out. If it airs after, check it out anyway. On the 4th, Reputation.
It's good. Reputation is good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I'm excited for it. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting. Oh, okay. And I am La Thunder Mommy Trisha C. You can follow me on Instagram at TRICIACEE. And yeah, I probably spelled that wrong. I don't remember what my Instagram handle is, to be honest.
Where can people find your music?
Oh, you can find it anywhere. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon Tidal.
Same user for everything?
Yeah,
nice.
Trisha C. Oh, it's at TRICIA_CEE. So yeah, check me out.
Yeah, check her out.
Thank you so much for hopping on.
This is his thing, so check out Will.
Yeah, check out Will.
Until next time, peace out.
Laters.
His fingers.
Maybe it's like I gotta move it like sideways so they
Loser. Cover your ankles, sir.
That was great.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. I have to weather the storm of Trisha trying to shit on me the entire time.
Excuse me. Listen.
That was great.
You're rude.